You've maintained a strict caloric deficit for weeks, but the scale remains frozen. For many, this is the exact moment a diet ends, because we are conditioned to believe that if the number isn't moving, the fat isn't leaving. This creates a psychological trap. We equate a stagnant scale with failure, often walking away from a process that is actually functioning exactly as it should under the surface. These two curves show the reality of metabolic change. While the scale remains flat for the first few weeks, internal biological shifts begin almost immediately. External metrics are lagging indicators of what is happening inside the cells. Internal changes precede external changes by weeks. The body sends 8 specific signals when it transitions from storing fat to burning it, all of which appear long before the mirror shows a difference. By focusing only on weight, we miss the metrics that prove the system is working. Recognizing these signals allows for a shift in perspective, from guessing whether a diet works to knowing it does. The first major shift occurs when the body stops relying on blood sugar and taps into stored fat reserves. This changes how mitochondria receive fuel. Because stored fat provides a nearly bottomless reservoir of energy, the typical 3 p.m. exhaustion crash begins to fade. Energy levels stabilize across the day because the body no longer depends on the next meal to stay powered. This fuel switch leads to a second signal, a decrease in hunger. It seems paradoxical to feel less hungry while eating less, but the mechanism is found in the byproduct of fat metabolism. As the body breaks down fat, it produces ketones. These molecules travel to the brain and neutralize receptors for ghrelin, the hormone responsible for triggering hunger. When these hormones stabilize, caloric restriction stops being a constant test of willpower and begins to feel like a sustainable, natural state. Fat tissue functions as an active endocrine organ, producing inflammatory cytokines that circulate in the blood. When fat cells shrink, the production of these cytokines drops. As systemic inflammation recedes, several internal systems begin to normalize simultaneously. This drop in inflammation allows the nervous system to relax. Without constant inflammatory stress, the body enters deeper sleep cycles, often within the first few days of a deficit. Lower inflammation also improves vascular health. Blood flow to the brain increases, allowing brain fog to lift and making focused work feel less taxing. There is an emotional component as well. Inflammatory cytokines interfere with the production of dopamine and serotonin. As those levels stabilize, mood improves and general anxiety often decreases. In the joints, the removal of these inflammatory triggers reduces pressure and irritation. Even before significant weight is lost, physical movement becomes less painful as the systemic swelling subsides. Finally, the skin reacts to the improved circulation and reduced hormonal stress. Chronic issues driven by inflammation, like acne or dullness, begin to clear as collagen production becomes more efficient. You'll notice better sleep, experience sharper focus, and much clearer skin. These are the physiological signatures of shrinking fat cells. They are the evidence of progress that the scale cannot yet see. Stored fat acts as a biological container for fat-soluble environmental toxins. These compounds stay locked in the tissue until the fat is mobilized for energy. When these stored compounds enter the bloodstream to be filtered out, they can briefly irritate the gut lining and disrupts the microbiome. However, as the body successfully processes this waste, the digestive system resets. This leads to the 8th signal, improved digestion. Bloating decreases and bathroom habits become predictable as the gut is no longer being interfered with by these released inflammatory markers. Regular, efficient digestion confirms that metabolic waste is being successfully moved out of the system. Experiencing these internal signals is proof that fat loss is active. These shifts indicate that the body has successfully transitioned its metabolic state. The scale is a single data point, and often a misleading one. Energy levels, inflammation, and digestive health provide a much more accurate dashboard for real-time progress. Understanding the physiology of fat loss makes it easier to trust the process. When the internal signals are present, the external results are an inevitable consequence. All 8 of these signals are regulated by a single master hormone. To understand how to optimize that hormone for faster results, watch this video next.